Today we're going to cover the sheet metal tabs of a roofing single ply length condition. In this case, you'll notice that we have the sheet metal length, we have sheet metal centers, and sheet metal fasteners tabs as part of the condition. We're going to cover all three of those in this video. Starting with the length, you'll notice that we have 4 optional fields here for you to calculate sheet metal in the condition that you're working in. Starting with the top, you have the stretch out of metal that you're going to be using. Moving to the right, you have a breaks field. The breaks field is commonly used for a break labor if you wanted to calculate the total lineal footage of breaks that you're going to have on this project. In most cases, this is not commonly filled out. Continuing down, you have your description. This is going to be used for describing what this material is going to be used for out on your labor screen. Continuing down, you have the specific metal type that you're using for this specific piece of metal that you're going to be bending. Moving down, you have your sheet width and your sheet length. Now the sheet width, ultimately, we have that as 4, and the sheet length we have as 10. However, behind the scenes, we do have the capability to change this number around, and it will do a couple things for you. Right now, if you leave sheet length at 10, the program is thinking that you have an internal team that's going to be fabricating this metal in-house. And so we're going to be giving you a material that is by the sheet. We're going to be giving you a labor that is for fabrication, and we're also going to be giving you a labor for install as well. If we were to change from 10 in the sheet length field to 1, the program would now, instead of giving us a per sheet cost, a fabrication labor line and an install labor line, now what the program is doing is it's saying, hey, you're actually buying this metal prefabricated. And because you're buying it prefabricated, we're going to give you a metal by the lineal foot cost, and we're going to give you simply just an install labor line. So this is how you can take the sheet metal tab and you can convert it from, hey, I'm fabricating this metal in-house, to I'm actually buying this metal prefabricated from a manufacturer. In this case, we're going to leave it as 10, as if we were calculating that we were going to be fabricating this metal in-house. Continue down, and now you have lapping. So if you're going to lap your coping cap instead of running, splice plates or cover plates, anything like that, this is where you would add in your inch increment for lapping. 4, 6, whatever inch increment that may be, simply go ahead and type it in here, and we're going to calculate that additional metal for you so that way you don't end up short on your project. It is important to note that whatever you have turned on inside of this condition property is calculating as you draw on the takeoff screen. So in this case, we're actually producing a double continuous cleat system by having both of these continuous cleats on. If you didn't need that, simply turn one of the fields off, and now you're calculating a 1 continuous cleat coping cap. Ultimately, the sheet metal length 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all the same, so fill them out as you need them and turn them on or off as you need them as well. The next tab we're going to cover are your sheet metal centers. If you're not going to be doing any lapping to the metal, you're probably going to be using a cover plate or a splice plate of some sorts. In this case, you're going to build that in the sheet metal centers tab. Starting at the top, you have your stretch out. Make sure that this stretch out matches what you have on your sheet metal length. Continuing to the right, again, this is just that breaks labor, calculating the lineal footage of breaks that you have in your project. Description, simply describing what this metal is going to be used for. The metal type, what type of material are you going to be bending this metal out of? Again, you have your sheet width and sheet length. Anywhere that you see the sheet length, it's going to follow the same commands that we explained on the sheet length tab, going over the sheet length between typing a number 10 in there or typing the number 1 in, and giving you a prefabricated piece of metal or giving you the sheet of metal, depending on the number you type in. Continuing down, you have centers. This is how often are you going to be placing this cover plate or splice plate. The next field you have is the width. The width is how wide is this piece. realistically, how much are you going to be lapping this on that 10-foot stick of coping cap that you just laid down? You do have two fields here, so that way you can build a couple options and toggle between them on different projects if you need to. Again, if you leave both of them on, we will calculate 2 pieces of metal as you draw your lineal footage takeoff on the takeoff screen. The next tab that we're going to cover with you is the sheet metal fasteners. Now, in the sheet metal fasteners, you'll notice that you have 4 tabs. We're pulling this top field from the description in your sheet metal length. So you'll see that we have coping cap, continuous cleat, and continuous cleat. And if you look at sheet metal fasteners, it's going to reflect what you have on that screen. Now, if you're working with your fasteners, in this case, we turned off the double continuous cleat, so we would want to turn the fastener off that is assigned to that cleat and actually turn on the fastener for coping cap. In this case, you're going to be filling out the number, which is how many fasteners would you like, how often. So here we'll say we want 1 fastener, and we want that 1 fastener every 12 inches. Next, you're going to be typing in the length of the fastener. You can do the fractional method that you see here, or if you would like, you can type in a decimal as well. In this case, 1.5 inches. Next is your fastener field. If you would like, you can Control C on one of those fasteners and Control V just to make it a little simpler for you, a quick copy and paste command. You do also have the option to click the 3-dotted button and go scroll through the list of fasteners we have. For example, if we wanted to find panhead, hey, we don't have it, well, let's go ahead and add it. We'll just say that the category is generic, and we'll just put the description as panhead. Now we can pull that panhead fastener in, and again, continuing down with your pieces per carton. If we leave this 0, it's going to give us a per piece fastener pricing on our pricing screen. If we type in the box amount, it's going to give us a per box pricing on our pricing screen. So make sure that you fill that out according to how you're going to price your fasteners. Again, any tab that is turned on as you go through and measure, we will calculate those fasteners for you. So make sure to turn off anything that you don't want to have calculated as you measure across the takeoff screen. If you have any additional questions, or if you run into any issues while you're setting up your metal portion of your condition, please feel free to give us a call on the tech line, and we'd be happy to assist you in any way we can. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.